Well, happy Sunday, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day. Let me first start off this before we get into our crowd that's up in here, because everybody wants to talk about the draft yesterday. Let me issue an apology to the New York stinking Giants, which is not something I'm used to doing. But I had posted a video a few hours back trying to connect the dots about the Shador Sanders situation, where it was, I don't care if you hate Shador or not, nobody deserves to endure what somebody did to him. And that was that prank call. To set this whole thing up and just kind of get this out, I was connecting the dots because I'd heard a rumor that one of the New York Giants executives' daughter went to Ole Miss and may have leaked the number to the individuals that made the prank call. Turns out we actually know exactly who it was, and it wasn't the New York Giants. So let me apologize to the New York Giants organization and the New York Giants fans that were not the ones behind there. Apparently, it was the defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbricht's son, Jax, was allegedly behind the Shador Sanders prank call. And the thing with this situation is they send out a phone to all of the prospects that the only people that have that number are NFL executives, and that's the only people that share the number. So it had to be somebody tied into the NFL that got the number and did this. So with that, without further ado, let me get this party started with my crew here. Let's see. Damn it. It didn't save it. Hold up. Let's see. All right. What's up, Momo? How are you doing? You're the first one on the screen.
I want to publicly tell you this. I didn't come over there because my wife said I didn't want to leave my wife by herself in the house. And she didn't want to come. She was not coming. And she was wore out. So that's why I didn't come over to your place.
Oh, it's okay, man. I understand that. You understand that. I mean, or you should understand that. That's just jokes. Oh, Momo didn't really want to come because he just talked to smack and stuff, and I can understand that because she don't know me. She probably like, who? Mark who? I don't want to see that fool.
She said, well, what I'm supposed to do when y'all out there down there doing this and like that? You could be there with the women. It's like that. I don't know that you have black women go.
Well, the reality was actually because my friend Richard, his wife was here, and a couple other ladies were upstairs and things and stuff. But it's all good. I understand that completely.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't want to subject her to having to deal with a bunch of us anyway. I feel you on that one, dog. I feel you on that.
Well, I'm about to let loose today.
Oh.
I'm about to let loose today because I'm pissed. And you know why I'm pissed, and everybody wants to talk about this.
I don't know why you pissed. You always mad about something, so what's the deal?
No. Oh. We gonna get into it, because the Shador situation is no excuse. I don't want to hear about no playbook. I don't want to hear about, he bad interviews. Stop with this bad interviews. Okay, everybody does bad interviews and get hired. This is the NFL. If you got talent, you got stuff on tape, they hire you. So all that BS they want to say is a big lie. They did it out of punishment, and they in cahoots. Because how can all 32 teams decide, hey, we're not going to draft you?
Okay. I agree 100%. So,
and then to get to the fifth round, okay, let the dogs out now. He had his punishment enough. That's exactly what they did.
Okay. All right. There's no dispute about this. So, I mean, unfortunately, that's the system that we're behind right now, is they're the dudes with the money, and they're trying to send a message to try and nip all of this college shit in the butt. And I'm going to say this. Here's the problem, Momo, is like Jimmy Johnson said, if you're going to talk the talk, then you got to walk the walk.
He did walk the walk.
Okay, right. But understand, I'm sitting here watching as I'm taking David Wiley home, and he's showing me all the clips of the guy, of the family and everything else, and all the trash talking, all the gold chains and things like that. And you have to understand that the teams are drafting you to be a leader and the face of the franchise.
Okay.
And that's the bottom line. And so that's what they put out there. Don't get mad at me. I'm just saying that's what they put out there. And you have to say, hold on. You have to understand that you got Deion Sanders, who is the agent, the father, the coach, and everything.
Agent. It's never been said he was an agent.
They said he was.
He jokingly said my dad's agent.
Okay.
We don't know that's his agent.
Well, either way, there's a whole lot that's going to be dealing with Deion and his son. And for any coach out there, immediately every time he's sitting on the sidelines, when Shador going to be out there, or if the team struggles, how long before, they need to get prime time. They would be getting the mic.
That's true or not? I think that's a Maple Leaf sketch from SNL somebody put out there, because I don't think Deion's going to go to every team his son goes to. He's not going to. Well, if he had get
that's not Momo. Yeah, good. Hey.
Sorry about my delay.
Oh, no problem.
The team he will ever come to take over would be the Dallas Cowboys.
Momo. It's not a matter of if he will or won't. It's like the same thing that happens with every time the Cowboys sign a quarterback, that automatically everybody said, here's Dak Prescott's replacement. We did that with Andy Dalton. We did that with Trey Lance. We did that with Cooper Rush. It's not going to happen, but that's the thing that you're going to deal with. And so the media, of course, which is looking for storylines, is constantly going to be like, man, I wonder how Coach Prime would do with Shador Sanders. Here it was. He turned that organization around. He could turn this one around.
Mark, let me clarify something. Let me just clarify something and end this discussion once and for all. Deion Sanders is never going to be the problem. Always think if he goes to Dallas, yes. Will he go to Cleveland or any other team? No, he's not. They could do the storylines. What they did to him was a collective effort to punish Deion, not his son. Let's keep it.
Okay. You know what?
I can even pull it up.
Okay. Regardless. Regardless. Have you ever coached Little League sports?
I have coached.
Have you had that one parent who believes that their child is the greatest player out there, and it's a travesty? Huh?
Guess what I tell a parent? You're not allowed to come see your son to play. He said, "I'll take my son somewhere." I said, "Well, thank you very much."
Okay. Now put prime time in his marketing machine behind that, and you're the coach.
I've done it.
Okay, you've done it. You've done it with little kids. We're talking about an NFL.
I believe.
Okay.
Momo.
I'm not going to play no games with you.
Okay.
Derek, why are you trying to get him started?
Oh, my God. Okay. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to tell you this one. Momo, let's clarify this right now. I don't give a rat's ass about the Cleveland Doo-Doo Browns and Shador Sanders, okay? Shador, his family, his daddy, his kids all have a hell of a lot more money than I am. They're in the NFL, and this is no different than what happened to Dak Prescott dropping in the draft. You now have an opportunity. Go out there and go ahead and get revenge on 31 teams.
They got 4 quarterbacks, 5 quarterbacks on that roster.
But if you the man, you show him up. Are you literally going to say that he shouldn't be able to beat out Joe Flacco, who'll only be here for a year at most?
No, but you all
know. Deshaun Watson?
Okay, I'll say this one thing. The last thing I'm going to say about it, we all know Joe Flacco is going to be the starting quarterback, start that season in Cleveland.
Then you know what? And I tell you what, that actually might be the best thing for him.
Yep.
Just like Pat Mahomes, who got there, got the sit a year behind Alex Smith, learn it and everything else, and not get the crap beat out of him.
Right.
Okay? Hey, look, Momo, he going to be okay. All right, you guys discuss real quick. I got to take a call.
I definitely think Flacco is going to be the starter starting this season for sure. I don't really care about that prank call. To me, that was a little bit ridiculous on Deion, on Shador. That was kind of a mess.
But here's the problem with the prank call.
But I wanted him to slide. I wanted him to slide. I thought he needed to.
So here's the problem with the crank call. It was
I got a question, Royal. Why do you think he needed to fall?
Because they were talking about him being a top 5 talent and top 5 pick when he's not a top 50 talent.
What?
He's not a top 50 talent in this draft. I'm sorry.
Top
He's
50,
not.
I mean, I thought. I say he was going to drop to 23.
Top 50
I thought he was a top 30, 25 pick.
But that's because of the position. His skills aren't there.
So is Daniel Jones? Hold on, I'll keep it a buck with you. Was Daniel Jones a top 5 quarterback in the draft, and New York Giants drafted him?
Damn.
No, dude, I don't think he was a top. I don't think he was top caliber.
Give him the same grace.
Oh my God, Momo. Okay.
There's a difference because you're talking two different people. When Daniel Jones came in, he didn't have the arrogance and the brashness that Shador has. Humility will get you further than arrogance.
Okay. So wait, Momo, hold on. Wait, Momo, hold on.
Oh.
So Royal, are you? Because the question I asked was, I asked Royal, why did he feel like Shador needed to fall? Because that's what he had said. And so what you came in on was Royal explaining why he felt it. Now, a part of that for you, or a big part of that for you, is that you don't like his arrogance and you feel as though he needs to be humble.
I feel like that if his skill level
and he's not a top 50.
If his skill level backs his arrogance, it'd be different. Dion had that arrogance, but he earned that arrogance. And he didn't talk shit. Dion let his play talk for him.
Okay, number one, let me help you out. Dion was the biggest shit talker in college. Okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me complete the thought. Okay, but when Dion was at Florida State, you know what I'm saying? That's where he created the primetime persona. Mm-hmm. And throughout his years at Florida State, he talked shit, but to your point, he backed it up too as well with the play. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. I'm of the opinion, I've watched Shador go to Jackson State along with his dad, and they turned that program around. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then I see him leave Jackson State, and then I see him go to Colorado, and their effect on the University of Colorado seems to be comparable to the same type of effect Michael Jordan had on the local economy. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? When you look at what they did for the program, what they did for the local economy. You know what I'm saying? So when Shador says things like, if you're somebody who wants to change the culture of your organization, you know what I'm saying, that I'm the guy to get because I've done it twice. Now, this kid showed up to the draft with actual receipts. Like everything that he said he could do, he actually did it. He did it at Jackson State and he did it at Colorado. And for some odd reason, the thing that people think he needs is he needs to be humble. Why? Because to be honest with you, I'm going to say it like this, and I'm going to keep it all the way up. The one thing people cannot stand is they cannot stand a black man who was completely free. That dude showed up not needing money. He don't give a damn. His father got it. He's all this other stuff. So and what that does is that actually makes people feel a bit like, you know what I'm saying? Very uncomfortable. And when you don't have that over him, you know what I'm saying? Again, Royal, regardless of how you may feel and think, you got to admit, the kid has receipts.
I think he's going to be a good quarterback, I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback. And those receipts, all those receipts were not just his receipts. Those were accumulative receipts.
Look, bro. I actually got bill language that changed a law right here in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. I didn't do it all by myself.
No, but did you come in acting the way you did?
But I actually got receipts. But I actually got receipts. And that's what I'm saying to you. Look, no matter what you say about his father, you have to say that he was also a part of that solution whenever his dad came.
Without a doubt.
So therefore, like for some odd reason, you know what I'm saying? Like, number one, we're talking, and to your point earlier, you said we're talking about the quarterback, and the thing that you have a kid who's a quarterback who has known winning at some point, has done some things, and the first and one of the biggest things that you want to have happen is you want him to be humble. That's not what you want from your quarterback. You want your quarterback as confident as possible.
Okay. All right. Let me interject. Okay. I really want to talk about our team, but hold up, good people. Okay. I really want to talk about our teams and not turn this into the Shador Sanders conversation, because it got nothing to do with any of us in this situation. You know, we might pay them once a year, every 4 years. But the thing that I look at with this is the NFL was trying to send a message that we're not going to be dictated to about where somebody is going to go. And I think that they colluded on that, because when you had Deion coming out there and saying there's teams that, basically we're not going to go to, that they don't want to open up this genie that's already being opened up in the college ranks because of the NILs. Because now all of a sudden, if it ends up being that Deion is pointing and saying, here's where my son's going to go, how do you stop the floodgates of now everybody else trying to say, hey, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there, I don't want to go there. And so it's not so much about them.
Eli did it.
I know, yeah, well, that was a while ago. Yeah, Eli did it, and John Elway did. And,
yep.
Okay.
So why is it so bad when this kid does it? I'm just saying. And if that's the case, and if we don't go down that rabbit hole, then
I'm not saying it's. Listen, I'm not saying it's right.
No, listen.
And I don't even know if this is what happened, but
allow Aaron Rodgers to hold a team hostage.
And and he should be. I would be damned if I'd rather go without a quarterback than have Aaron Rodgers.
But every year they let him hold a team.
Yes,
hostage.
they do.
So
But that's different though, because he's got a track record and everything else, and they want to go ahead and get him as a free agent. We're talking about the draft and keeping this system. Listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not. I certainly am not. But you can understand, as you're now getting the NILs and you've got a quarterback who was already getting $2 million in college saying, I want $4 million, that all of a sudden these guys are looking at, we're getting our gun put to our head from these players, and now we don't want these guys arrogant in college. Now all of a sudden saying, screw your draft, here's where I'm going to go. And that's the beginning chinks in the armor that start. There always has to be somebody has to be the first before the whole thing gets torn down.
I'll end on my part to say Baker was arrogant. Manziel was arrogant. They was arrogant all through college.
But here's the difference. Okay, all right, but then here's the lesson. Then you learn from that. Then Baker Mayfield was arrogant, right? And what happened with Baker? I mean, excuse me, not Baker Mayfield. Johnny Manziel. He was arrogant and he failed. So now you're looking and saying, am I getting Baker Mayfield or am I getting Johnny Manziel?
And also, let me just
Marcus Vick was arrogant.
Yeah.
Last thing about Manziel, his family.
We had a whole bunch of people say, "Who is Marcus Vick?"
Yeah. And okay.
Manziel's father was a wealthy man, so he didn't care to go to NFL or not, but he went.
Well, I believe Deion got a little bit of change too.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Okay. I believe Deion got a little bit of change too.
No, what I'm saying is that you can't do that to one person.
Why is it I'm here as a Dallas Cowboy fan to talk to my people about the draft, and here immediately I get hijacked by a Commander fan who then gets backed up by an Eagle fan, and we've gone on for 20 minutes about something that has nothing to do with the NFC East. None of us needed the quarterback, okay? Why are we talking about him? It's not like look, Momo. It's not like you needed him as a quarterback and your team passed on him. Leo, it's not like your team needed a quarterback and passed on him. How about we deal with the shit that is handling and going on with us?
Well, truth be told, Cleveland drafted them the way they did because they found out we were going to try and draft them.
Oh, it always has to be about you, Eagle fans, don't it?
Yep.
It's always got to be about no matter what happens. It's got to be about you, Eagles.
We was gonna get him.
Yeah, true. The shadow of the Eagles forced the hand of Cleveland.
Hey,
we did.
I'm just saying. Some Eagles fans always said, you build from the trenches. I think the Cowboys did that this draft.
Amen on that one.
Yeah,
The Cowboys done that the last 3 drafts.
Not necessarily.
Well, I'm just saying.
Bobby
Brian
Beninsky
Schottenheimer knows football. He knows more than Mike McCarthy's ever known. That's all I know.
He knows how to run the ball. Something Mike McCarthy's never been good at.
Exactly.
Mike McCarthy doesn't like to run the football.
yeah.
Mike McCarthy is like every one of us husbands. We hate to take out the trash, but we do it because we are trying to keep the peace.
We're going to have a more balanced offense, and it's going to be good. We just got to get Dak that number 2 receiver. That's all.
And they do be smelling too. I'm just.
It's like,
Oh, your husband would say that.
look, but is it true?
I was gonna say I can't lie. That is so true. That's why.
Don't mess up. Don't mess up and leave the trash, and she got to take it out.
Yeah,
Okay, and she got to take it out.
Yeah,
Oh,
I do it just to avoid the conversation.
Dave Eagles champ, thank you for the super chat, man.
Wow. That was awesome, Mark. That was good.
I got a lot of those, little stories like that. It's kind of.
But Mark, you asked a question in another one of your videos, or you said, "Are the Cowboys closer to the Eagles after this draft?"
Okay, now, and I see somebody jumped in here and just said, "You're not close to the Eagles." I didn't say we were close to the Eagles. I said, "Did we move closer? Did you move closer?" Okay, did the gap narrow some? And I think it did. I think it did.
I think it did too, but it's still a big ass gap.
That wasn't the question.
You guys lost 14 players too.
That wasn't the question.
What happened the last time what happened to us the last time that happened?
Last time you replaced all of them.
Yeah.
Say
that again? Depth.
Yeah, we replaced. Yeah, that's what we like. If you think about it, we brought in 10 picks this year. You know what I'm saying? And if you look at where we got those picks and what we got them for, we're in good shape. Remember the whole thing about having the mix, and Mark knows about this, having the just right amount of mix of veterans and then first guys who are still playing
okay, Dave,
with their rookie contracts. I think we're there. I'm excited. But when I look at,
I'm gonna keep the receipts on y'all.
You guys at A on your draft. I mean, I do think that the Booker pick was a bit of a stretch, but at the same time, again, building through the trenches, so I can't be mad at you, But and then when you look at everything else, and then I think you guys just signed like 8 or 9 undrafted free agents.
We always do that. That's like our second draft.
Because Tony Romo was
we did the same thing. Yeah, we
big on that.
We signed 9 undrafted free agents. And real quick, Mark, shout out to Holland Pierce. Holland Pierce, offensive tackle from Rutgers. He's an alumni of my high school, Trenton Central High School, and he was drafted he's an undrafted free agent. He was signed by the Eagles yesterday. So shout out to him.
There's one of your Eagle players that they said that, and I can't remember which one it was, but they had sent him a playbook, or they sent out playbooks to players, and in the back of the playbook they had $100 taped into it. And he was the only one. He sent the $100 back and said, "Give it back to me when I win the Super Bowl with you."
Isn't that from the movie though? Didn't they do that in the movie?
I thought I saw a tweet about one of the guys you drafted in this draft.
I didn't hear any of that, but that sounds like something. The movie where
I know what you're talking about, but this was, and it may be that it was fabricated because you never know what you're reading anything. But I thought I saw that clip this morning. I was like, okay. Regardless, Mark, that was from the movie Draft Day. Like I said, I saw an Eagle draftee that was on the stage and stuff, and they had the story on there, and I was kind of like, okay, but I was like, why would they send him a playbook before the draft? But anyway, the whole Shador thing, it's sad, but he's in the NFL, he's gonna get his chance,
especially with Cleveland.
As far as the Cowboys and Eagles go, I know that Eagle fans don't remember, and I can remember the last time you went to the Super Bowl, going back and saying you're going to take a step back because it's part of the natural progression, typically for teams that go to the Super Bowl. You've played more games. You've got less time in the offseason. You've got players that want to get paid. You've got coaches that go elsewhere. It's natural to go back. And to think that the Eagles in 2005 went to the Super Bowl and lost, that you won it in 2017, that you were there 2 years ago, the Giants won it twice, and the next year, those 5 times in the last 20 years, they did not even win the division. So it's easy for me to say, by history, you will take a little step back. Now, maybe, just maybe, your shit don't stink. And maybe you do repeat. But I wouldn't just go ahead and say willy-nilly, oh, we definitely got it.
Lasagna's in? Okay.
The lasagna's in? I'll be right over. You got some garlic bread to go with that?
I don't know how hungry you are.
He's not even listening to me. You got the garlic bread to go with the lasagna?
I think it would be good. Here. Okay. Okay. I'm still working.
You can't be talking about food if you ain't sharing.
Look, Julian, I heard somebody talking to Julian that they put the lasagna in. Did you get the garlic bread too? He ain't even answering. Yeah. You can't say we're putting in the lasagna and not answer about the garlic bread.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I didn't think you were going to hear that. But
I just want to know, do we have garlic bread and a salad on the side would be good too? You got a salad and garlic bread?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sorry,
just making sure.
I didn't think you were going to hear that.
I kept on, man, I guess I'll give me some garlic bread right now. But anyway, all right. How do you guys feel about the Dallas Cowboys draft? Did Momo leave?
I feel decent about it. I think
it's
they
deep.
did really good for the trenches and for the helping out where we needed in the run game area. I wanted a flash pick, but that's being selfish.
Same.
I wanted a receiver with either the 1 or 2, but
Still here, Mark.
But here's the thing. I mean, we got to look at the bottom line. Back in the day, they did the same thing when they draft Travis Frederick first. No,
Bingo.
They drafted Tyron Smith. Then they drafted Travis Frederick.
Yep.
Then they drafted Zach Martin. So that's the same thing they're doing again. So next year,
and I get that.
I expect them to start maybe getting some more splashy players that we need.
But that's what got us to where they got us. But what got us to the Super Bowls? That linemen were not first-round draft picks.
No,
they were a bunch of nobodies that somebody knew he could help.
Yeah, they were coached. They were coached well. They were coached up, and maybe Shoddy might be able to coach them up. Maybe the coaching staff might be able to coach them up.
Yeah,
I think the O-line coach is a very good coach. I just hope it pays dividends for us.
Mark, can you hear me?
I mean, I would have.
I'm sorry, Momo. I can't hear you.
Yeah, me too. A premier pick is what I wanted, whether it was running back or wide receiver early on. I just wanted one of those. They could have done everything else. It was one of those. We didn't even get a receiver in the draft. We did in what? The undrafted free agents. We got
from
one.
Oregon and somebody else.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was just him and a couple tight ends.
And there's some still out there. I know Keenan Allen's still out there. I would give him a shot.
Isn't Bond an unrestricted free agent from Texas?
Yeah, but he's got
unrestricted, but I know he has legal issues. Mm-hmm. That's the Dallas thing.
He's a cute, but see, not anymore. Not anymore. He's got legal issues with rape allegations. So,
bless you.
And here's the thing: you had Shoddy going on about character issues with players. A lot of the guys that he drafted were team captains. And so before the draft, they were talking about he was pounding the table and saying, I do not want issues with players. So that's like, okay, we can forget about Tariq Hill, you know, and his new 5 baby mamas that he got this year. And that would take, you know, Isaiah Bond would definitely not be one that's coming in because of that.
Yeah, Chip Kelly was on that too, like high character type players. Like,
yeah, well, Chip Kelly's a freaking idiot. He deconstructed a lot of great players. You know,
listen, yeah, that's a whole nother story. But the thought process, I remember hearing that before, and it was Chip Kelly who was trying to do that type of stuff with the players he wanted.
Hey, he helped my Buckeyes win the Natty, so I ain't gonna complain.
Well, and here's what I'm going to say to here's what I'm going to say to it. You remember, first of all, culture was always an issue. Remember how everybody talked about culture, and you know, we got rid of D-Law. You know, D-Law was always talking about we're soft and this, that, and the other, and things and stuff, and we never changed year after year. And there's some kind of dynamic that was going on because definitely Micah and him didn't get along because it was just a week ago that he was literally saying, you know, we're not going to put up with that kind of bullshit between me, CD, and Dak. And now you're bringing in high character guys. This may be the culture change that the Cowboys are looking for. Right. Because, you know, we've been known to have some issues.
Yeah, I felt like.
Do you think that, and you think that's what's happening?
Well, the Cowboys wanted to be a leader, but D-Law was kind of holding him back because he was ahead of him in like draft class and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he was still a high-paid player, so he didn't want to step on D-Law's toes at that time because that's his teammate, and he couldn't be the leader because he was supposed to be the leader. Mm-hmm. So that was, I think, was where that main conflict started. Not so, in my opinion, I don't have a factual basis on that, but that's what I feel. I feel the Cowboys wanted Parsons to be the leader, but Parsons felt like, what about D-Law? I'm going to be stepping all over my own teammate to be like. So that's, I think, where that drew that conflict. But I could be wrong. Just that's my opinion.
Here's another take that I'm going to say. Sometimes you get trashed, and you get pissed off about that somebody said something about you. Okay, you know the old saying, "Don't deal with the messenger, deal with the message."
Right.
Do you guys remember when Ben Johnson, before he was hired by Chicago and things, he was asked, or he talked about the Cowboys, or he didn't say the Cowboys, but he said, you know, I want an organization that admits to past failures and works hand in hand with the coach for the betterment of the team. It was something along that line. I remember
when that happened because it was like a indirect shot at the Cowboys.
It was an exact. No, there was no. It was pointed at the Cowboys.
And didn't he turn down an interview request with you guys?
I don't think the Cowboys even tried to interview him after that.
Okay, no,
but here's where it's funny is, like I said, don't deal with the messenger, deal with the message. He was right. He was 100% right. And this year, you've had Catboy literally say what we did last year, not having the second wide receiver. And this Catboy was the guy who literally said, you know, C.D. Lamb, you know, he's got to get another 3 to 5 touches a game now that he's gotten that contract. Instead of saying, we got to get another receiver, you know, okay, he admitted, we got to get another 2 receiver. Now, we haven't gotten it yet, but we know now he's also talking about, you know, we weren't active and stuff, and we have to be more active in the free agent market and getting guys here sooner and stuff. And so exactly what Ben Johnson said is now they're doing different because you're now hearing the coach is talking about the guys. And when you watch the press conference, it's not like he's the side dish like Mike McCarthy is. He's more like the main course. He's the prime rib on the table. And you kind of, you know, Jerry's always going to do Jerry speak, but you're actually listening to him, and he's got a plan. You listen to Mike McCarthy, and it's like the all shucks, you know, it's like, shut up, Mike McCarthy. I don't want to hear it from you. It almost feels like they have evolved a bit.
It feels different.
Let me ask you something. Who, like, when you take that stuff into account, right? Mm-hmm. When you say, obviously, you would rather hear Shoddy than what you hear from Mike McCarthy, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Who would you rather hear from? Mike McCarthy or Jason Garrett?
Neither.
Mike McCarthy.
Neither of them.
No. I'm saying no. Listen, I'm going backwards on
Probably McCarthy.
Bro,
was Mike
I couldn't
McCarthy
stand
a step up from Jason Garrett?
He was a step up from him. Okay.
Yes.
Jason Garrett, his shit-eating grin just always got my nerves.
And so now at this point, you're starting to. The signs are pointing upwards that Shoddy may be a step up better than what you got from Mike McCarthy.
I've said that. I said it from day
the
one.
Signs are pointing that way. Not saying it's like that. Right now, it looks like things are trending in that way because not only are you
Rhonda.
Not only are you hearing these things from Shoddy, but you're also seeing how things are moving just a little bit different.
They're moving a lot different.
Well, yeah,
they're moving 180 different.
I'm saying it back because I'm saying it back in my own words because I want this fan base to feel as though I have a clear concept of what it is that you guys are trying to say when it comes to how you guys are viewing this whole situation with your team.
Here's the thing.
So go ahead, Lord.
Okay. So Mike McCarthy, he came in with the, Super Bowl ring and all that good stuff.
And talking about analytics.
So Shoddy, he's been in the league for a long time. He never got the opportunity to be a head coach. Now this is his shot. So he's kind of like Dracula. Dracula, when he came to y'all, no one thought anything about him. He came into there with a chip on his shoulder, and that's how I feel Shoddy's going to go. And he's going to coach as if he has a chip on his shoulder.
But he had an organ.
Jason Garrett, everything was just handed to him.
Yeah,
they just handed the book to Jason Garrett. And said, "You're the head coach."
Right.
I don't really think.
Now here's the thing.
We should show the play sheet.
Wait.
Here's the thing that I would, I like if I were you guys, or I feel like if I were you guys, what I would throw caution. Why I would be cautionary about this is because there's still one common denominator.
Jerry Jones.
That is yes.
Yes and no. Yes, I agree.
Right there,
I agree. But see, here's where things are actually different a bit. Now, hold on for a second here. If you have been really observing the Cowboys, you are looking at this as a phase out of Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones last year, on his bus at the combine talking about we're going all in and everything else, and Jerry Jones being front and center. To me, the changing point for the Dallas Cowboys, and if the Cowboys do start to get themselves together and start winning, and I'm not saying that this year is the year, but the Cowboys are setting themselves up to be a better team for the next few years going forward. They have reset the clock. They are now a much younger team. There's only two players that are 30 years of age, Dak and Dante Fowler. That's it. Everybody else is young. Tyron Smith is gone. Zach Martin's gone. D-Law is gone.
Yeah, that's right.
All of those guys. Now, you've got a whole bunch of guys that are no-name people for most Cowboy fans, and they say, well, I don't know about this guy, that guy, or anything else. But you have guys that have experience that are still young looking for that second contract. So the onus is on them how their career is going to go by what they do this year. They have a great year. Either they can re-sign with the Cowboys with a great contract, or they can go someplace else to it. So you're going to have guys that are hungry as opposed to getting a Don Terry Poe who's like, I'm tired of working out and shit like that. Let me get his last check before I retire.
Wait a minute. Can I also say all of that you just described in terms of your players? Mm-hmm. That's also a sentiment those are attributes that you pretty much can also put on your entire coaching staff.
Yes. The coaching staff, yes, because they're young guys too that are hungry.
Because I remember I want to say like me, you, Derek, we was all talking. Remember we was talking about Al Harris, and I said y'all didn't even keep Al Harris, but he didn't even interview or something like that, or what have you. For once, they wiped the slate clean with the exception of Shador. I was going to say, okay.
Usually they hold over and hire a new head coach, but they still pick all the other guys. This time, it was, okay, Brian Schottenheimer, you're the coach. You're going to get the staff together. And he picked the guys he wanted.
That's right. They did.
Which is a sea change. And see, when we got to that press conference, the first person. What's that? Yeah.
You sure that he really hired those folks on one?
That
We have no proof of that.
Okay, well, let's put it this way.
Homo.
Let's put it this way. They're saying Jerry and Stephen Jones are the ones saying that Schottenheimer put together this staff. They've never said that before. Hold on, Mo, just let me finish, Mel. In the same way, the press conference for Brian Schottenheimer, he was the first guy to talk. That press conference was all about Brian Schottenheimer. Usually it's Jerry Jones going on for about 15 minutes about glory holes. And it's like, and here's our head coach. Yeah. It was him talking about his upbringing, his coaching career, his family and stuff, and then recognizing his players that were here and, his vision. And then it was Jerry. And it was like Jerry was an afterthought. And then, of course, Stephen Jones, with his air quotes, kind of got punked when he said that so-called drought. And after that, it felt like now all of a sudden it woke him up to realize we're a effing joke. I don't know that the moves that they make are going to be better, that we're going to get better results as far as Cowboys go. But you can at least look and say, like you say, Leo, you want to see activity. You actually feel like they're trying to. You couldn't look at last year after hearing Jerry Jones say we're all in, and you're seeing Dante Fowler, Dorrance Armstrong, Tony Pollard, Zach Martin. I'm sorry, not Zach. Tyron Smith, Biotish, Leighton Vander Esch. All walking, and you got nobody else coming in the door other than Zeke. You were like, what is this? But you've gone through where they tried to fill a person in each slot before the draft, and pretty much to a man, almost everybody that was drafted later than they were anticipated to go.
I'm sorry, but I feel as though you all have a very abusive relationship with your owner. You know what I'm saying? And because, I agree, you know what I'm saying? And Mark, I would say the things that I have seen thus far, even after you pointed it out to me, in my opinion, would constitute the kind of activity I would want to see if my team was in your position right now. Mm-hmm. You don't know if it's all going to work, but damn it, it's activity. They're trying to do something. Okay, that's what I need to see. Make me feel like you see something. Now, that being said, where I feel like the abuse comes into play is with all of that happening and that cautious optimism, then you have your owner who's doing things like, we gonna make two significant trades,
and that may so happen.
Nothing happens.
Well, okay. Now here's the thing: they did have the trade. The Texans wanted to trade with them during the draft. The Texans wanted to trade, but they said the compensation that was offered sucked. That it wasn't good value, and typically the Cowboys take bad trades. Trey Lance is one. Jonathan Mingo's one, and so this is one they said, no, that's not enough compensation. We're going to keep our pick.
Yeah.
And I still think that still think that they might be looking at, you're hearing rumors about Breece Hall. There's Courtland Sutton out there that may be a guy that could be traded. I think Tyreek Hill could be, but I don't think with them talking about character guys that Tyreek Hill will be one of them. But if they go through with having at the moment $37 million and another 12 when they get Micah done, they've got some money to go ahead and do a couple of moves. And a couple of moves, if you were to get a Breece Hall and add to the mix, although I don't know that they will with getting Blue, but if you were to go through and get a Courtland Sutton in here, another legitimate receiver, and get yourself another defensive tackle, you would have to say that this would end up being a decent team. Right or wrong, Leo?
No. I still think that here's the problem, and I gotta admit, Drew makes a good point. New coaches, new coordinators,
yes,
new program. True. That's your philosophy, and I'm like you and I talked about this before. I'm on the fourth time that this is happening to our team, where we got a new offensive coordinator. So that means my quarterback has to learn an entirely new language, or a variation of what he already had. Because like you, the guy who is now the coordinator You know what I'm saying? It's somebody who's been in the building for a long ass time already.
Yep.
And now has a shot, but from a coordinator perspective. So there may not be that big of a drop off in terms of terminology and things that Jalen Hurts would see for the first time twice. Maybe. You see what I'm saying? Now, our defense, yes. You know, we have a defensive coordinator that, you know, hopefully, I hope that he's, has a long line of health, but he has no intentions on being a head coach again. He just wants to be a defensive coordinator.
Wade Phillips.
So, nope.
No, I'm saying Wade Phillips-esque.
Wade Phillips, yeah, exactly. And, because he likes being close to his grandkids and stuff like that. His family's there. So we're solid in that aspect. So the turnover from a coaching standpoint isn't that bad. You guys, everything. And I think that you're trending.
Yes,
in the right direction.
yes, but here's the thing: the offense having Brian Schottenheimer there, the terminology is pretty much going to be the same. Even Caton Adams admitted that. He said, "Look, it's better."
Who's your offensive coordinator?
Caton Adams from Arizona.
Wait a minute, he came in from the Cardinals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Caton Adams, where they've been great at running the football. He was actually the offensive line coach. He is the offensive coordinator in the same way that Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator for Mike McCarthy. Shotty, I think, is still going to be calling plays. And so you still have, the offense and the terminology, as Caton Adams said, it's better for me to be the one to have to learn the terminology than to start over with all of the players.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Not the other way around.
That's what he said. The interview I caught this morning with him, that's what he said, because he said, of course, Dak's got the basis of everything we're doing, and we're going to keep the things that work well, but we're going to be better. We're going to be more balanced as far as running the football. And we've got running back by committee. We don't have the lights out running back, but Blue is fast. That boy is fast. He was the fastest running back in there. And we got a bruising back. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but dude is like 6'2".
Blue,
yeah.
I was excited about Jaden Blue.
Yeah, Blue is fast. So he's your lightning.
I like Texas Longhorns, so I've been watching him.
Yeah. Now, he has put the ball on the field a bit. I think he had 3 or 4 fumbles last year.
I was about to ask, doesn't he fumble? I've heard he fumbles.
But you know what? But here's the thing. And the way you said we reached for Tyler, right?
Right, Tyler Booker. Yeah.
A lot of people have said we reached for Tyler Smith. In fact, I remember Skip and Shannon literally reading the riot act and saying, this guy is the most penalized player in college. Skip, he's a 2nd or 3rd round draft pick, and the Cowboys don't know what the hell they're doing.
That's
exactly what they said about him. And Tyler Smith came out the box. It has been one of the best guards in football.
Bro, we were the same way with Jason Kelsey.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, you don't. This is the. I don't want to start no problems.
No, yes you do. Yes you do. You sound like my wife now. I don't want to start no problems. Then don't say nothing. Then don't say nothing. Then.
Yes, you do. You do want to start something.
I'm just saying, people, Cowboy Nation. I love all y'all. You don't expect to get lightning in a bottle twice. It's not going to happen.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Lightning in a bottle twice? Oh, wait. Yeah. You mean like, how about Tyron Smith? How about Travis Frederick? How about Zach Martin? Hold it. I'm going to actually say, hold it. Just hear me out for a second here, Momo. The Cowboys can do a lot of things wrong, but one thing that they usually do really, really well is offensive lineman in the first round. Now, you can say, well, what about Tyler Guyton? Yeah, you could kind of say that. But here's the thing that's interesting about this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grade it on a curve, because what we did when we got Tyler Guyton is we traded back, got a 3rd round pick, and we got our starting center, Cooper Beebe, who was really good. Really good. So if you had traded back and just gotten Cooper Beebe, you would have said that was success in the first round, right?
I'm saying though, homeboy said this is my thing, because I'm looking forward to the battles, because my man said
he literally put your guy on blast.
I'm looking forward. He called him out. He said, "I'm looking forward to going against Jalen Carter."
Yeah,
I want some Jalen Carter. I was like,
you're like, oh shit.
Whoa.
I was like, I don't know if you want to put that smoke out there.
He said, yeah, he's gonna make Jalen Carter not like football no more.
He's like, I'm looking forward to going against Jalen Carter. And I know Eagle fans are like, yeah.
Okay, he gonna get some of that too.
What's that?
Problem. He ain't ready for Jalen Carter.
You don't know.
You know what?
We'll find out.
Don't need to be announced. Some plans just need to be implemented. You play big games, you get big prizes. My man said he want him some Jalen Carter. He gonna get some.
Okay.
Carter.
Hold on for a second, Lee. I gotta address something.
Oh shit!
Look,
here we go.
I gotta address something real quick in the comments. Sugar Daddy. The name Sugar Daddy tells me a lot about you. Like you giving away your damn money. So I don't know why you up here trying to comment on me. So I don't know why you doing all of that.
Leave Sugar Daddy alone. Leave him alone. Go ahead.
We need Thomas Garrett on here. Derek, we need to get him and Thomas Garrett on.
Go ahead.
You muted, bro. You muted, Derek. You muted. Derek, you muted.
He said, "Oh, Thomas, we need Thomas up here."
Yeah.
What happened to Momo?
Get off the Zoom show. Get off the Zoom show.
What, Momo jump off or something? He didn't finish the statement.
No, I'm still here.
You didn't finish your statement.
That was my statement.
What was your statement?
The Sugar Daddy comment about the Commanders, and just because we had one lucky game or whatever.
Oh my God! I'm sorry.
Sugar Daddy told him to go to bed.
Now, see, I can put up with the Eagles because they have a track record of being good. Okay, right. But your Vanilla Ice ass coming up in here, one hit wonder. Sorry, you got to get me a couple albums here of music before I'm gonna call you one of the greatest. Okay, all right, huh? Y'all like Vanilla Ice, a one hit wonder, man. Ice, baby.
I got a question for y'all.
You didn't write the music.
I got a question for y'all about running back.
Oh, there's Thomas Garrett.
So out of our running backs, we got Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, Deuce Vaughn, Jaden Blue.
Deuce is gone.
Phil Maffa, Hunter Lupke, Malik Davis. Who do you think is going to be the starter?
It's going to be running back by kid. I think they're going to probably have Blue out there because Blue's going to be that speedster, and they're going to rotate him in. We know who our short yardage back's going to be.
Did somebody ask about me?
Yeah.
There he is.
Hey,
don't know what you heard about me.
Is this regular
but
Thomas?
You can't get $1 out of me. Okay.
Is this regular Thomas or tequila Thomas? Is this regular Thomas or tequila Thomas? Because we want tequila Thomas. We don't want regular Thomas here.
Sunday.
Eat something.
Sunday, Thomas.
It's hungry, Thomas. I'm ready to eat. I'm ready to eat something.
Oh man. Well, I'm
ready to eat until y'all start mentioning me.
Yeah, well, because Momo is on something right now, Thomas.
You ain't lying.
The best person
Momo
to counter Momo.
Momo said these players of today are too arrogant.
I never said nothing like that.
You said he's not ready. He said he's
ready.
Not ready.
He's
not ready.
He's a rookie. He's not ready for that guy.
That means you think he's arrogant, right? He's
not ready to go against that Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, you talking about Jalen Carter?
Yeah.
You don't know.
He's not ready for you.
You don't know that. You don't know.
Okay, we'll see.
Hey, we will see.
Who say,
you know what?
Let's get it on.
I'd rather have somebody that's challenging himself right then and there to say, I want to be able to kick the best ass than being a scared little biatch.
Yeah, like what he did was he went out first day on the yard. He went out and challenged the biggest, baddest dude on the yard.
No, he up in prison.
I want to fight him.
Right.
All you gotta do is punch him now.
Right. You go out there and you punch slap the biggest dude in the yard. Everybody else is gonna take. Oh shit, he ain't scared.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, here's the Cowboys running game.
I like that.
Mark,
I like
I'm
that.
ask you a question, Mark.
Okay.
The Cowboys running game. I don't see a significant running. I know you talk about this blue guy because he because a guy who runs that fast he's gonna fumble the ball a lot more than he significantly do things. If it's just facts, a person who runs the ball crazy fast, he has a propensity to fumble more.
Okay, I hear what you're saying, but okay, first of all, let's go here.
Hey, Momo.
First of all,
I'm just giving out facts. The man has a fumble problem because he didn't play a whole lot. He didn't play a lot of snaps in college. This is just facts.
I hear what you're saying, and that's possible. And Lord knows you had a fumbling running back with your guy.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, now, so those who live in glass houses, okay, listen, here's what I can tell you.
Momo, you talking bad. Momo, you talking too fast. Let's talk about you.
No. I'm not talking about. I'm just saying what the facts and the facts of his college days. If you don't understand that he wasn't on the field a whole lot.
But
and Tyler Smith had more penalties than anybody else in college. How's he doing right now?
He changed.
Okay, and it didn't translate it to the NFL though, did it?
No, it didn't change because he learned not to do that.
Tiki Barber was a big fumbler too until they worked with him and told him to hold the ball up higher, and he stopped doing it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, here's what I'll say as far as the running game goes. Brian Schottenheimer did what Mike McCarthy told him to do. Here's what I know about Brian Schottenheimer. His daddy had one of the scariest backfields that I've ever seen in my life with Barry Word and Christian Okoye. And they love to run the football. He was a beast. Okay? I know that Brian Schottenheimer was the offensive coordinator the last time that the Jets made it to the AFC Championship. In fact, the last time they were winning playoff games, Brian Schottenheimer was there. I know that Brian Schottenheimer, who was in with Seattle as the offensive coordinator, his 3 years there, the last year he had Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson had 41 TD passes, 4,100 yards, and they rushed the ball for 2,000 yards. Okay?
Well, I'm just saying.
Hold on. Wait.
What I seen on the field.
We had chopped liver for a running game. We didn't even decide to use the young guy until about the middle of the season. We were running.
Can y'all stop the running game now?
Well, here's where we'll find out. But you can definitely see some of the guys that they brought in will help. Okay, I call him EZ. Okay, Donovan EZ because I can't pronounce his last name. He is one of the best bending edge rushers out there. But he is equally as good at stopping the run. He would be like a young DeMarcus Lawrence that can hit the quarterback. D-Law was better as a run stopper, was not a great pass rusher, except for 2018. But he is a guy that can help with the run. We got ourselves a true one technique guy. He's about 345 pounds, big, fat, nasty. He's got so much ass, he's got a zip code on each cheek. Okay? And one of the linebackers we brought in that we drafted, again, another really good run stopper and things. So we'll see how it all works out, and we'll see how the scheme works as well. But definitely, I don't think the Cowboys are done yet. They got too much cash that they're sitting on not to go ahead and make some moves. Typically, the Cowboys would say, oh, we had a good draft. We're done. But I think the Cowboys are really tired of seeing the Eagles really good. And it's one of those things that's okay. We can see the Eagles do good. But I'll be damned if we're going to let the Commanders be better than us.
Right. Well, okay, so that goes back to, and I Momo, no disrespect, but Mark has a point. I need to see more than just 1 year before I believe it. I think y'all had a hell of a year.
What the hell y'all talking about?
No, you could be the New York Giants from a couple years ago, bro.
You know what, Momo? I'll say this though. You guys are definitely trending in the right direction.
Your defense sucks though, Momo.
Yeah, it's just.
Wow. Oh, I know that. I'm pissed off.
You got the worst defense in the division.
Yeah, you and the Cowboys. Basically, all three of y'all are in a years, and I mean years plural, long rebuild. Call it what you want. Some people want to say soft rebuild. Some people want to say retool. No, y'all rebuilding. Period. You know what I'm saying? And what we're doing is and it looks like for Dallas, it looks like your defense is primarily being built just for us.
Oh, I agree. Well, I'm going to say, I'm going to say, getting Booker, Tyler, that was definitely because the Giants, of course, getting a dual Carter. The Giants got a great front up there. Okay, and that's where the Cowboys looked and said, we got to do something like this, or Dak Prescott's going to be in infirmary all season. That was definitely because of what you guys are.
Like everybody's got to see Jalen Carter and Abdullah Carter. Twice a year.
Yeah. Can I say something about that?
However many years.
Go ahead.
I love what Lawrence Taylor did when he asked, Abdullah did ask Lawrence Taylor for that number. I don't know why would you ask Lawrence Taylor and put that pressure on you, because he wanted that number 56.
Okay. I know, but chalk that up to just being young and immature. That's young
and mature. If you really understood number, I didn't even know that. He went in asking for Lawrence's number.
Yes, he wanted Lawrence Taylor's number.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor told him, no, go make one. He was like, no, go make one famous yourself, which is the right thing to say. Like again, and look, man, the dude grew up an Eagles fan. He's from Philly.
Okay, man.
So you got you know what I'm saying?
Hey, so Leo, that's like me. A player going up there to Chicago, get drafted by the Chicago, Bulls, and say, "Hey, I want to wear 23." Go to Jordan.
No, you know what though? Eagle. No. Royal. What Lawrence Taylor's response was perfect, but it was also, and the thing that made it perfect was that's how you humble somebody.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
What was his response?
That's how you humble somebody.
What was his response?
No, go get your own number and make that one famous.
That's good.
There you go.
I mean, I like the confidence that the boy had to do it. It was a little bit stupid, but I like the confidence. It was a little bit stupid. But yeah, you want to go be yourself. You don't want to go be someone else.
Yep, I agree with that one.
Yeah. Now, and so going back to Booker, I think that Mark, I understand culture and all that stuff. I get it, but I also think that he must have displayed the kind of attitude that I think the direction of your O-line is going to go. Whereas you got to have, like the Eagles' defensive line
is a bunch of thugs,
and their offensive line, but their defensive line is a bunch of goons.
Yeah,
Jalen Carter is a goon. You know what I'm saying? Jordan Davis is a goon. Like these dudes were goons, and they that's all they do. And if you think about it, you got to have O-line. You got to have guys who don't give a fuck about you being a goon.
Yeah, they ain't scared.
What I think so when I think about, and that's why I said it's a stretch. To me, I thought it was a stretch, but then when my man said, "Oh, I want me some Jalen Carter," he called out Jalen Carter by his name.
You were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I thought that was wild. Shit.
Because remember last year when Saquon when they was in New Orleans, and Saquon had said to Jalen Carter, he was like, "Yo, Jalen, why not today? Why not today be the day?" Because he was like, I played against you. You that motherfucker. They scared of you. I've been in those rooms. I played against you. You're that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I said to him, I said to myself, like, Saquon not lying. Like, it's true. And for that youngin' to come in and say, "Yo, that's who I want." Oh, I can't wait to see this because he's gonna get it all.
Now, did they ever play against each other in college?
No, Jalen is older.
How much older? I thought he was only like 2 or 3 years ago at most.
Jalen Carter's going in his third year.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it could. I didn't know if maybe a freshman year touch. I didn't know how long either of them were actually there. So
they may not have. There's a very good chance that they may not have overlapped, and if they did, then the youngin wasn't getting that play time because he would have been a freshman. You see what I'm saying? True. Unless he was a true freshman back then, but I doubt it. I'm just saying, look, attitude-wise and everything like that, I was like, Okay, if I had that, I like you motherfucking right. That's exactly what you need. Now, here's the thing.
I like it. I like it.
Now here's the thing. You better do what you said you're going to do, because I swear to God, I am going to be insufferable.
No, I
am going to be insufferable. I am going to. Yeah, I am going to talk. If Tyler Booker gets his ass whooped, I am going to talk shit.
To put him in the dirt or something, didn't he?
Yeah, right. Royal,
and I thought it was wild, but if you go call someone out by name, I expect you to.
Listen, I respect the fact that he put an address on that shit talking. As an Eagles fan, I respect that. I respect the fact that he put an address on all that shit talking that he was doing. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? Because it made now I'm looking forward to seeing that trench fight between the Philadelphia Eagles and the
I'm just gonna pop this here because see, I believe Tyler Smith said the same thing, and you'll see right here. Look at boom, manhandle Carter. Look at it. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute. What are we? I don't see.
Boom. Okay. Who's your daddy there?
Okay, wait a minute.
Boom. Have you seen it yet?
No, it's coming up.
I seen it.
Yeah, I'm looking. All right.
I think he lost his footing, man. That's not fair.
Okay.
You know what? Okay. If that's the best you could come up with, okay. And he got
it. It literally was just like 10 seconds, and I found that. I'm just saying.
Yep. Yeah, if that's the best you can come up with, okay, cool.
He failed.
I'm not. No, Momo. No. We are not making excuses. What Mark said is exactly what happened. Okay, and we're gonna leave it at that. That's no problem. Yup. And I like the fact that the youngin is talking the same way and intends to be the same kind of way. Okay, all right.
I'm just saying he lost his footing. He tripped on himself.
I know, Momo. I seen it too, but that's okay though. We're not gonna say.
Okay, I'm just saying because y'all.
No, it's what you said, Mark. That's what it was. Yup. Not what Momo said.
Did he lose his footing, or did his footing?
Or did he get knocked off the block?
He rushed.
He got beat. Wait a minute. You know what, Momo? You're just an agitator. Now you're taking the Eagles side, bro. You remember these are mother humpers? What they put 56 on you?
Don't matter.
56 on you? Oh, man. See, you a punk. You a punk, man.
That was your last game.
Anymore, talk to my lawyer.
Oh, damn.
All right.
I'm just saying. I am looking forward to that. I like that.
So, Mark, did y'all get a tight end? That's what I want to know.
No, but Ferguson is 100% healthy.
And y'all forget
what you said overnight.
Y'all forget Sam Williams hasn't even played last year.
Sam Williams is looking like he's going to be 100% by July.
So everybody forgets about him. Everybody forgets about
Marshawn
Nealon. All these players people are forgetting about because they didn't see him. So
yeah,
they
have a little really bit of helped out the defense this draft. So I think they got some more people who can rush the passer, which is good.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Michael won't be doing it all by himself.
I think we did good too in the trenches too. We got a few defensive tackles and some O-line guys too, to take them through Stoutland University. Not to mention the guy we got in the CJ trade.
Why are you here?
55 on your head, Momo. Oh damn, Bobby Beninsky dropping.
Oh man, that's what's his name? Like, why do you keep asking the same question? Why do I have to answer it the same way? Like, do you not understand?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Because you talk so highly of Philadelphia to us who are Cowboy fans. It only makes logical sense that you would want to be around your own kind.
Okay.
That way I can talk about the undrafted agents that we drafted, and I like to see about this receiver we picked up from Oregon. He's supposed to be bigger than what's the guy that came from Seattle? The
DK
receiver.
Metcalf.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be bigger than him. I would like to talk about that. I've been on here watching you for like 30 minutes. And you just
I said coming in hijack. Right, we haven't even had a chance to really talk. And the funniest thing is they ain't said nothing about anybody that they brought in.
I'm gonna tell
all
you,
they doing is poo pooing on us.
We won't be paying you no attention. I'm gonna tell you that now. Because while you was talking,
I ain't gotta say nothing.
While you was talking about the Cowboys, you read the chat and they like, when y'all gonna talk about the Cowboys?
You know,
he is talking about the Cowboys. but
he's laughing on the outside, but he's really scared on the inside. He's worried.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say, Derek. I was about to say that too, Derek. Like I've been saying all kinds of stuff about the Cowboys, and he just
listening.
But let me ask you this, Derek. Check this out, bro.
Oh, Lord.
Loyal, Derek, Mark. Do you all feel as though I have a understanding of the way things are moving in terms of your team based off of my responses to?
Oh, they know who it is.
No, I know they found out one of the Falcons.
Do you think I have a firm understanding of your organization?
No, because if you did, you would let us talk about our organization.
Oh my God, that's what I'm talking about.
I don't want to hear. We got
I didn't say anything about Philly.
Yeah, you did. We got a good draft pick, and they was finna talk about it. You said, "Well, I think we got such and such good too at Philadelphia." I don't want to hear that.
I didn't say that, and no, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
Now I'm a liar.
Oh, you did. I know who you're talking about. We
Yes,
did good on the
did.
trenches too. That's what you said.
Yeah.
But that's the moment he's talking about.
But Leo, how you doing, man? How you doing? But man, please go away, man. Go away.
You need me here.
No, we don't.
You need to let me know when you're being unreasonable. You need me to help you need therapy so that you can don't get yourselves lost. Y'all already about to go out there and spend
Miami
more
side, Jalen Connors, he's a tight end, but a fullback. But if he's at fullback,
y'all ready to go? Y'all ready?
Thank you, Slayman.
Y'all ready to say y'all gonna win the Super Bowl this year?
No.
I never said that.
I didn't. No, I said
no. I said some of y'all.
Well, some of us do that every year.
Yeah,
I'll just say we're trending in the right direction, but we got some pieces we still need. But I think
what's up, Tristan?
When people ask me about this season, I tell them that I have good hopes for it. I think it's going to be a stepping stone for the future.
Yeah.
That I don't know where it'll go. It may lead us to playoffs. It may not. But I think at most, or at least, it's going to be a stepping stone.
Yeah, but
it's going to give us faith moving forward.
I think it's important that you all understand the number one reason why I am here, because I am all
because you got no place to go and you got no friends.
No, Mark.
Because
what did I do? Mark, did I not already call it? Am I not already on the hook?
Medius
Okay.
Off their page.
Just kidding.
Mark, am I not already on the hook?
Oh, yes.
I said we were going
What you say, Leo?
I said that we were going to win the Super Bowl and that we would repeat.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I'm on the hook.
See, the funniest thing is, Leo is so full of himself that he thinks that we really even care.
Okay. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's the one. That's the one. He is so arrogant.
What Eagle fan? Hold it. What Eagle fan doesn't believe that, dog? All you mother humpers are out here pounding your chest like you have now set the die for the next 1,000 years that you're going to win the Super Bowl and that Saquon's going to have 2,000 yards and Jalen Hurts is going to end up being MVP every year from here on out. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
No, Mark. What did I tell you what will happen if we won the Super Bowl? That I would be insufferable.
Yes.
I said I was going to be insufferable.
No, you're not insufferable. You're just annoying.
Yeah, but
okay. You're just annoying. And it's no different than before you won the Super Bowl.
I got a public announcement. Leo, you talk more than me, and Mark's friend was at the draft, first name of the draft. You talk.
The problem with that is that I have things to say, that are real. I got receipts.
Your lips are moving, but you ain't saying nothing there.
We got receipts.
All right, I'm going to say, how about them Cowboys? I like the fact that we have potentially a great interior offensive line. And there's flexibility that if Tyler Guyton sucks ass, then we can take Tyler Smith and kick him out to left tackle, and we can put Booker at right.
Tyler Booker.
Left tackle.
Tyler.
Yeah. Well,
so
we'll see. So actually, okay, I've been hesitant to say this, okay, because I know somebody will copy this before I get down to actually make the shirt. But I've got Tracy working on a shirt. It's the law firm of Tyler, and Tyler. We don't chase ambulances; we fill them.
You should have did one. You should have did one. You know the Tony. You remember the group Tony?
Yeah. Okay. It's corny, but if they're knocking people out, okay. Come on. You got to admit that's creative, dog. And you should see the graphics she's done for it, man. That should look good.
The Cowboys put up a picture of them three, a cartoon picture of them three pointing at each other like they do 3 Spider-Man.
I seen that on Facebook.
Oh shit.
Oh boy, here we go.
But is moving Tyler Guyton to right tackle not an option?
I think. Here's the thing. I think that Terrence Steele is going to be better this year.
They hate us, Drew.
Because here's the thing about Tyler Smith. Terrence Steele is like an enigma. He's a top 50 ranking in run blocking. You get that, right? Y'all know that, right? He's a great run blocker. His pass blocking isn't so good. The problem we had was we passed the ball about 65% of the time, so we weren't actually using his skill set. If we're more balanced and you start having now defenses questioning whether we're passing and or running, he will be more effective. And at the moment, do you have faith that Tyler Guyton is going to be better than Terrence Steele at tackle?
First round draft pick, it should be.
There's a lot of guys that should be. No, we did not.
I feel you, William.
Who's the other quarterback?
How much is Terrence Steele be?
Joe Milton. Joe Milton, who's going to be starting by mid-season if you listen to most people. Remember we traded for Joe Milton from New England?
That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I knew you brought in somebody. Yeah. That's okay. All right.
Only thing about that draft.
That's who the team is being built for. The team is not.
Yeah, okay. A 6th-round drafted quarterback. Then hold it. Wait. If you're sitting there saying that the team's being built for a 6th-round quarterback, then why are we complaining about Shador falling where he did?
Yeah, that's less pressure on him. That's all that is.
No, I'm not complaining. I mean, we already know what it is.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So, but we're not going there.
Yeah.
Again. Remember, we just jumped off of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm just saying.
No weapons, Mark. You're delusional.
I think the team is being built for somebody else, somebody not named that.
Yep.
Yeah,
you know, especially on your defense.
They're not done yet, Bobby.
And on top of that, you guys, Mark, if you guys get Micah done. You could be right at like close to like you said
$50 million. Right? We'll be second in cap space.
So then who you?
So you can make. That's a good question. That's a good question. You could go out. You could actually go out and make a couple of moves.
Receiver position.
You could go out and make a couple.
See, that's what aggravated me about the draft. To be honest with you, was the fact we were looking to trade down, and I believe we still could have got Booker, even though he would have traded down 4 or 5 spots. But the fact that we had an opportunity to do that, and they were slow poking their butts around as usual.
Well, they have okay, but hold on, let's back up now. They did have a trade offer from the Texans, but they said it was chump change. You know, how many times have we been Okay, I mean, let's be real here. You know, when the Cowboys trade, they don't usually are, with the exception of the Herschel Walker one, they're usually not on the winning side of these trades. You know? They're usually not.
I'm saying if you could have picked up an extra, pick or something like that could have helped you out for that wide receiver position. That's
maybe depending, but you don't know what they offered. It might have been. It might have been that they were offering, a 3rd-round pick to move all the way up there. Now you're looking at that and saying, "Shit, we got to move that far back." And
best the gold standard right now in the league on how to get it done. I'm just saying, You know,
because
like,
he know where
Smoke 'em
the
out.
bodies is buried.
Yeah,
He keep
yeah.
winning on those trades like that. He
Yeah.
know, he got something on everybody. That's the only way he can do that.
Yep. And then on
And
top of that, we got 12 picks, Derek, and we're gonna have to trade those for the following year too. We can't pick all those people.
Yep.
We got 10. We brought in 10 people to this year, and then got 12 picks next year. We can't. So we got to trade those up too. You know, package them up, make a big move for next year too. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Next year's draft supposed to be a really good draft, right, Mark? For quarterbacks, for a lot of things, right?
I have no idea, man. I'm not the college guy, man. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. On top of the fact that we're gonna have to be able to compensate.
Okay, so
that's gonna leave.
Leo, at least Momo understands. Okay, I can quiet down for a little bit now. I'd love to hear from Loyal, from Tyson, from Derek J, Chris May, and things about the Dallas Cowboys and their thoughts. I've gotten enough negativity from you mother humpers now. Okay, let somebody else have a turn. How do you feel?
Fellas, come on.
How do you guys feel about the Cowboys? Have you seen enough activity that actually gives you a little hope that we are headed in the right direction? Not saying that we are ready to compete with the big dogs, the Eagles, okay? But if you look at this from last year to this year, how do you feel? Loyal Cowboy. Shut up.
Oh,
Leo, shut up. Leo, Loyal.
I mean, last year was just, they didn't even try. I mean, this year, the draft was kind of similar to last year. I mean, they started off, they got a lineman, they got needs. I mean, I'm a little upset that they didn't try to go out and get a running back or receiver first. I thought that would be their first priority, but under the circumstances, Zach Martin retired. He was our best lineman, so we had to address that. And DeMarcus Ware, D-Law, he left, so we had to get a defensive end. So I understand that.
I think it tells us that they're not completely satisfied with Hoffman.
Yeah. That's what I thought. I thought Hoffman was going to take over for
I thought so too.
But it tells us more about him
they
than anything.
signed this guy.
Yeah, I have to agree.
They could use Hoffman as a backup center role. That could maybe what they're keeping him, for.
Mm-hmm. Well, he got bounced out of that by BB, and then bounced out of guard now by a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
Or we'll see, I guess, in training camp.
Well, but here's another, again, now you've got Schottenheimer saying the best five will play. What might end up happening is that you end up with Tyler Guyton benched, Tyler Smith out at left tackle, Tyler Booker at left guard, Brock Hoffman at center, Cooper Beebe at right guard, and then Terrence Steele.
We've got 16 linemen. The options are there for sure.
But they've already said basically it's going to be the best five that play.
And that's how it should be. However it shakes out.
Yeah. What I like that the Cowboys are doing is they're doing what they said they were going to do. Like last year, it was we're all in and we were far from it. But this year they said, hey, we're going to get active in free agency in the first week. They did it.
Selectively aggressive, yeah.
They got to keep it up. What they're saying, they're going to make trades to get somebody in here. If they go along with that and do that, I'm saying the Cowboys are doing what they said they were going to do. And, that's way better than last year.
My thing is Mango, too. I mean, we didn't really get to see him play.
Okay, hold. I'm just seeing this right here. Apparently, here's one of the rumors. Cowboys had discussion with an AFC North team about wide receiver trade before the draft. The latest Dallas Cowboy rumors indicate that the team had been discussing a potential trade for a veteran wide receiver with an unnamed AFC North team. The Dallas Cowboys may not be done making moves to reshape the roster just yet. The latest rumors floating around America's team following the draft, Jerry indicated the team could still pursue a veteran wide receiver after failing to land one in the draft. As it turns out, before the draft, Jerry and company were doing some due diligence on adding a playmaker opposite CeeDee Lamb. That has to be Pickens.
It has to be.
AFC North?
That's the only
That's what I've been thinking. I was saying the same thing. We've been in that room.
And here's where, and let's go back a little further because this is where I got a video that got a whole lot of stuff because he started unfollowing the Steelers 2 days ago.
I'd like to have Pickens. I wanted a Metcalf, but I'll take Pickens.
I respect loyal. He understands still years away. One never knows, Bobby B. Because, you would have thought Washington was years away, and here it was. They go to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, they were playing on house money last year. Nobody thought they were going to be there.
So you never know. You never know. And Savon Ravel, if he is healthy, he was one of the top prospects at cornerback before he got injured. And they say that he's going to be ready to rock and roll for training camp as well. And that guy's got some link to him. And that helps you until you get Diggs back. And if we end up getting back Agent Zero in the middle of the season, that could be a good push towards the playoffs. Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. Okay. Just saying.
I'm excited to get Agent Zero back. That's literally my favorite.
Yep, but we need to learn how to win in the passing game other than CD Lamb.
Oh, I agree. That's
because when the playoffs happen, they shut that down.
Yeah.
I think we should have 20 or 25 passes, and I think only 5 or 6 of them should go to CD at most. The rest need to be spread out.
We've been out of the first round before, Bobby, twice with Dak Prescott. Thank you very much.
Mark.
What?
I never told you this, but me and I go to the same church as Jalen Ramsey's family go to.
Uh-huh.
I talked to his mother this morning, and I told her, I said, well, Miss Ramsey, because I tried to talk a little crazy to her, see if I could find out anything.
Mm-hmm. He up there macking.
I said, Miss Ramsey. I said, Miss Ramsey, I've been hearing these rumors about your son. Is it true that he's on the trading block? And she looked at, cause she know the majority of everybody in the church are Cowboy fans.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And she looked at me, she told me, she said, well, he's gonna be traded.
Oh, that's for sure.
And she gave me that look. I think she know who he's gonna be traded to, but she didn't just break down this, go into detail.
Mm-hmm.
She knows something.
Jalen Ramsey has,
but she's not
talked his way out of everywhere he's been.
Yeah, that's 3 teams now. Yeah, kind of like Dion. The hired assassin.
I didn't unsubscribe. Rhonda. Sorry.
You should pick up the quarterback from Penn State next year. Okay, Bobby. Why are we already talking about next year and we haven't even got to this year? I mean, what the? We literally are here at the draft right now. We talk about drafting next year. What is wrong with y'all?
That's actually a smart thing to do. That's actually a smart way to be.
Hey, do you pay dues, man? You pay monthly dues?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
To Mark?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Okay.
It's
okay, you have the right to speak then. Otherwise, man.
Yeah.
Please.
Still waiting for him to buy that brick.
Hey, you gonna feel that. He said, I had to give you that jersey. You gonna feel me every time I see
man. Oh, man. You want to make another bet this year?
No, I don't play. I pay my dues too.
I don't play with you,
George.
I don't play with you.
George, me and Leo pay our dues.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm positive.
Okay. All right.
George, you need some new glasses, by the way, because you keep peeping over now. I don't know if you can see very well at this stage.
Are you talking to me?
All right. Moving right along from the peanut gallery.
Oh man!
Anybody but Momo and Leo. Okay. Your biggest
Hey,
concern.
I'm gonna jump off here, but I'll talk to y'all later.
Peace out, Loyal. Thanks for being here. Oh man, they leave me up here. Sugar Daddy, shout out. I speak when I'm ready. Shout out to Sugar Daddy. 43 months of being a member.
There, you almost got him going.
I'm back.
I don't want to be nasty, and call a retard, but don't do that. Don't do that.
What week are you making draft videos next year?
What?
Probably during the draft, Bobby. What do you mean? What leading up to the draft, during the draft, and after the draft? What?
I guess he's trying to say his season go in early. So what?
Chaboom boom. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Actually, it'll still be. Because it'll be, will the coach be fired? Will be the first thing. Then free agency, and then the combine. Then I'll start talking draft.
We're not the Giants. What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did have some argument over something. I forgot what it was about. It's not important to me.
Rhonda said, I gotta kiss the rings. Hey. 5 is more than 2. Can't deny that.
Oh, but ours don't count because they're dusty old rings. That's what I keep hearing.
Still got a TV show coming out, right? They're still doing that thing on
Lovely Netflix? Linda said she wants to hear about our free agent signings that we have. And I think we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 9. So we got Kentucky's D-back, Zion Childress. What do y'all know about him?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oregon's wide receiver, Trajan Holden.
That's the one I want to know about.
Okay. I got an Oregon fan in my community. He says he's pretty good. I got to watch tape on him still.
I think, was that the one that had...
Not Tez.
No, but they had a draft grade for him that he should have been. Yeah, he should have been drafted. Said he should have been drafted.
Mark.
Yeah.
I just want to ask. It's one gentleman here. He's been here since I came in. I haven't heard his comments about the Cowboys, so I would like to hear his take.
About Tyson?
Yeah.
Are we pulling favors now?
Yeah.
What about me?
No, Tyson Cap. Yeah, what's going on?
So how you feel about the draft, Tyson?
The draft, man, I'm good with it. I was torn between the trenches and a weapon. I mean, but Tyler Booker kind of he kind of lead me over to that.
I'll be honest with you. I was seeing Tyler Warren still on there, the tight end, and I was like, man, I really wanted to get him, but then I found out about Tyler Booker, and since we don't have him, then Tyler Warren's dead to me. But I was looking at saying that could be a game-changing tight end right there.
Yeah.
I wanted a tight end too, but Booker grew on me after I watched some stuff about him.
I kind of
knew. The reason I want you
to
to come in because you hear all this foolishness I'm saying and Leo saying, and so I just want you to chime in. So I never met you before.
I said the same thing about Booker. I said, I said good things. I didn't say anything bad.
You said he was a reach.
Lombardi and Brian brought it.
No, I said I thought. I thought it was a reach at first, but then
he insulted your guy.
Huh?
Then he insulted your guy.
And I was like, yo, I like him. I liked him for that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to play y'all.
I wanted a weapon too, but I didn't think they was going to draft a tight end because they just drafted a tight end.
Well, here's the thinking though, is I would rather actually get a veteran that I'm ready to plug in right now.
I agree.
On the O-line?
No. A wide receiver. I want somebody out of the box that's ready to play right now. You think about... you
got the money, you can afford it now.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Leo. I can't believe the Lakers lost. They lost.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Anthony Edwards had 43. He smoked them.
Man. So what is it now?
3-1. 3-1.
3-1 Minnesota?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Timothy Wittenberg, email me CowboysMark94.
So Ant-Man got, they got a chance to put him out in the first round.
Hey, Mark, you got any stats on Trayshawn Holden?
And they the second seed.
Trayshawn Holden, a 5.89 draft grade, average backup or special teamer. He's 6'2", 205 pounds, 9.78 inch hands. Look at his hands; they're really big. He's got a 40-yard dash was 4.57. Played in 5 games as a reserve, no statistics in 20. Played all 15 games in 21 as a reserve. 22 played in 10 games with 5 starts. 23 played in all 14 games with 2 starts. And 24, honorable mention, all Big Ten Conference, played in 13 games with 10 starts. 45 receptions, 718 yards, 5 TDs receiving.
I think that's pretty good. What about you?
Inside, outside wide receiver with height, weight, and length, but missing ideal speed. Holden's high knee action in his takeoff is unmistakable, and he gets into routes with urgency. He's a ready-made zone beater with above-average play strength and feel for space. He's capable of running a full route tree, but will have issues getting off press and slipping man coverage. The tape doesn't stand out, but his physicality and willingness as a run blocker is the differentiator that could help his cause. All right. How about that?
That sounds good. Appreciate it.
What?
I just want to say something out football. I want to say to Leo. The problem was LeBron didn't shoot the ball that much, and they didn't, and he only had 27 points, and also they only got 6 points from their bench. You ain't beat nobody. You only get 6 points from your bench.
That's facts.
I just want to say that.
Okay. We also got Texas Tech wide receiver Josh Kelly.
That's unacceptable, man. That's unacceptable. 6 points from your bench.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I just think about the fuss that was made this year, and especially with the Luka trade and all that, and so I'm
because look, Finley Smith, he had 6 points with 41 minutes. Just the bench. Vanderbilt had 7 minutes, 0 points. Vincent had 13
Bobby.
minutes, 0 points, and you had Godwin with 0 points.
Bobby, but you're just trying to stuff the ballot box here, there, bro. And I ain't mad at you, huh?
You got anything on Josh Kelly?
Josh Kelly, 5.69, candidate for bottom of roster or practice squad. 6'1", 186 pounds. He's got good sized hands, 10.5 inches. His production score is 69, with his ranking wide receiver rank 20. His athleticism score ranks him at 55, which is 46, and his total score ranks him at 46. Okay. 24.
That's the combine numbers?
Yeah. Second team All Big Ten Conference, ranked 9th in FBS with 89 receptions. Led the team with 1,023 yards, 11.5 yards per reception, 5 TDs. Started 10 games and did not play in the Liberty Bowl, lost to Arkansas. Overview. 6-year senior coming off a productive run at Washington State and Texas Tech in the past 2 seasons. Kelly has experience playing inside and outside, but the lack of vertical speed has shown on the tape and popped out against the NFL scouting compound when he ran a 4.7. Damn. I ran a 4.6 as a nose guard, man. Damn. You slow. Kelly put a few highlight catches on tape. However, he lacks separation quickness to lose man coverage and figures to be a high percentage of
that a wide receiver?
Yeah. He has adequate hands in his tough
he's
working.
He's probably a good route runner, Mark.
He's going to have to be at 4.7.
Yeah, he's going to have to be a route runner or possession receiver.
Well, he is 6'1".
He's small. He's small.
His vertical is 33.
Yeah. I was in high school. I ran like a 4.8 as a defensive lineman.
4.8. Damn, you was slow.
No, I wasn't.
I did a 4.6, bro. 4.6.
Well. In high school, my vertical was very good, but I was lazy when they hit that stopwatch. I was lazy. I didn't want to run those sprints because we was doing sprints all damn day.
Of course, Momo.
Yeah, he always got an excuse. I didn't have my right kicks on. They made me run barefoot through glass.
And we getting punished for somebody not doing that. And then they say, "Oh, we want to time you now." I've been running for about 4 or 5 hours all day. I was tired.
You were running for about 4 or 5 hours?
Yeah. This means you need more cardio.
Keep in mind, practice is usually only 2 hours.
No,
okay, so I was running 4 or 5 hours. Okay. So you were doing a marathon before. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yes, I ran track too, Mark.
Oh,
I ran.
He ran track at 4.7.
Okay. Hey. I'm sorry. Not you guys. Sorry.
Hey, Leo, by the way, I believe that the Minnesota game, the next game is in Minnesota. It's 2-3-2 format.
Oh, really?
Hey, Mark, you ain't gonna Justin Barron.
So it's the best of 7?
Yes.
Isn't this the first round?
Yes.
Yeah, they've been changed that.
That's how much I don't pay attention.
Yeah, they've been
damn.
They've been changed that.
Yeah. So is it 2-1 or 3-1?
It's 3-1.
All right, so all they need to do is win one more, and that's it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Send LeBron James where he's lying trying to puff on, get on Stephen A. Smith, or like he said, but he knew he wouldn't have did that for nobody else. Stephen Smith ain't nobody. It's a joke.
We don't need LeBron anyway.
Well, I think that whole thing is a bit.
Mark, you got to say on Justin Barron.
Yeah.
Justin Barron. Is that Angelica Barron?
Oh, you know it is, man. I only see why you went there.
Angelica Barron had a Justin Barron. Okay. Justin
So
Barron.
who's undrafted that's good, Mark? Who's undrafted can my Washington team pick up?
They undrafted?
Who cares?
The kicker.
If they haven't picked him up by now, then they shit out of luck, man.
I'll be honest with you, Washington needs a kicker. They don't need that kicker that keeps dunking balls off the goalposts and barely making field goals.
Yeah, that's the guy you guys will have this year.
Oh my gosh.
Doink.
I don't see an NFL draft grade on him. Let's see.
The game against the first game against the Cowboys when Jalen threw that deep ball.
Oh, last year.
Syracuse, New York. The Dallas Cowboys have signed.
And I don't know how he outran 4 or 5 Cowboys around him. That was kind of sad.
The Dallas Cowboys signed Syracuse defensive back Elijah Clark and linebacker Justin Barron as undrafted
Elijah Clark
free
is pretty
agents.
good, Mark. I like him.
Clark's speed tested well at the NFL Combine. His 4.540. Damn, that's pretty good. Tested 73rd percentile, and his 1.53 10-yard split tested at 78.
Got high vertical,
Clark was recruited by Rutgers when Syracuse head coach Fran Brown. When Brown was there in 21, spent 1 year with the Scarlet Knights. Clark transferred in 22, playing at least 12 games in each of the next 3 seasons. At least he's got experience. He finished his college career with 2 interceptions, 12 tackles for loss, 9 pass deflections, while also playing some special teams. Clark was named defensive MVP in Syracuse 24 Holiday Bowl.
And now, Mark, I will say this. Everybody wants to call about the sophomore jinx. This is why I don't believe.
Oh, God.
Jake,
bro, you talk so much smack, man.
No, this is not smack. I'll give you the reason. I'll give you the reason why he's not going to have it because
your name's Momo, right?
He played over 50 games in college as a starting quarterback, so he has experience. Don't choke yourself. I'm just saying.
You on a different level now, man.
You know what? Here's the thing that you're not taking into consideration. And everybody CJ Stroud talked his shit. Yeah, I'm a top 5 quarterback and this, that, and the other. And everybody automatically was ready to put his ass in the Hall of Fame. And he came back because right now we have everybody breaking down every single play that your guy had, and they're going to find his way. Okay, all right.
No, Momo,
it's not going to be as easy this time.
Go ahead, finish it,
Told
Mark.
you, put your
go
money
ahead.
where your mouth at, Leo.
Bro.
Momo.
Make it light on yourself, bro.
Momo.
It happens to everybody. Especially.
Let Mark, finish that, please. Go ahead. Please finish that.
They are breaking down the films and they're finding ways to counteract your tendencies. There were no books on him when he started, okay? The same thing happened with Jalen Hurts. The same thing happened with Carson Wentz. When you come out that second year, man, it's harder than the first.
We all know that Carson Wentz was a fluke.
Oh,
because we all knew that was a fluke.
Momo, who was your quarterback the year before?
Whoever, they were all horrible.
Eyebrows.
They were horrible.
They had eyebrows.
Who was your quarterback the year before? The guy couldn't run if he tried.
What's the guy?
Every
I forgot his name. What's going to let him go? He gets traded to another team.
Okay, well.
Yes, Tommy T, it happened to Dak.
And
along with Zeke Elliott being suspended. So, yes, it did happen with Dak.
What I'm saying about the guy you mentioned for the Eagles.
Lordy. Bobby Beninsky became a channel member.
The system better.
Is he going to join the podcast?
Ever since he got injured, he's been horrible.
Who? Carson Wentz?
Yes.
Okay. How about RG3?
Robert didn't want to slide.
Okay, but here's the bottom line. The bottom line is, okay, understand what we're saying, Momo. The second year, for some reason, okay, whether you say it was injury or whatever, it got harder. It got harder. It did for RG3 after his great rookie.
Bad season, all his years he played.
Oh yeah, he had bad. They weren't awful. I mean, like ass.
He still out of the interception, but he was still very good in my mind. As I
didn't say he wasn't going to be very good. I didn't say what you acted like. I said he was going to drop off the face of the earth. C.J. Stroud was still a good quarterback, but he wasn't as good as his first year. And Jordan Love wasn't as good last year as he was the year before.
He have no off years. You're a diehard Cowboy fan. Roger the Dodger starback. Did he ever have his second year have an off year? No, he didn't.
I can't say I remember that one, but
yes,
but the year he started, they won the Super Bowl,
right?
Okay, because he started splitting time with who went to Denver, Craig Morton, and they won the Super Bowl that year, and the next year they didn't. So how about that? Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying what I'm saying to you. This sophomore jinx, everybody wants to keep bringing up. It started happening. It happened in the late '90s. So everybody started counting the sophomore jinx. It was no system.
Now Peyton Manning came out the box was not okay. Hold on. Dude, hold it. Wait. Peyton Manning came out the box ass actually.
Yeah, he threw a lot of picks.
26 TDs and 28 interceptions.
Like game plans way ahead of freaking the games, Momo.
Yeah.
So he had nowhere to go but up.
Crap's about. So
I'm gonna be humble. I'm gonna be humble enough to say Washington is not gonna have the season they had last year, but we will win the division with 11 wins. That's all I said.
Y'all gotta understand that Momo's name is just missing 2 R's. It's supposed to be more and more.
Bobby, I'm not trying to go to jail for life there, buddy. No, I won't throw a brick at Jerry Jones.
Hey, Mark, I told you, I still want to do what we discussed, me and you.
I don't swing that way, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, Nick, sir. Let me call you out your name.
You kind of stepped into that one.
Shit.
Yeah, you made it real easy.
So
hypothetically. Okay, so wait. Hold on. Hypothetically, let me look at this one.
So Leo, this was going to happen.
So wait a minute. Hold it. Wait. Let me bitch slap Momo real quick. Okay.
Oh.
So Pat Mahomes' first season starting, he had 66% completions, 5,097 yards, 50 TDs, and 12 interceptions. You know what he did the next year?
What?
65.9% completion percentage, 4,031 yards. So he was 1,000 yards less with only 26 TDs, almost half the TDs, and 5 interceptions.
It was a tougher league back then, wasn't it? Or wasn't they allowed to body slam you on your head?
In 2019, Pat Mahomes, you about to get body slammed on your head, man.
This is why it is very difficult to take these Commander fans seriously.
No, he
makes it so hard.
So his first year he was a 113 rating. The next year he drops to 105.
I thought you were talking about Roger stats.
He said,
"Oh my God,
Patrick Mahomes."
I said Pat Mahomes.
I didn't hear that. I know you ain't talking.
No, I'm not. It was you who was talking.
I'm always talking.
Saying it's just difficult. You like
I don't
that's
even know
the type of stuff that make it difficult dealing with you guys.
Yeah, I know. Hey. I think you need to go in the corner and take a smoke break and leave me alone.
Wait a minute. First of all, you talk to defending Super Bowl champion right now. So
yeah,
you don't get to talk to me
Super
like
Bowl
that.
champion.
You don't get to talk to me like that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You don't get to talk to me like that. You have to talk to me with a little more respect.
Okay. So Momo, let me bitch slap you again here, bro.
Go ahead. Oh, get him, Mark.
Let me bitch slap you. Okay. In 71, he ended up that was the first year he started. Okay. And he ended up with 1,800 yards, 15 TDs, 4 interceptions. The next year, he only played in 4 games because he was injured.
He got hurt.
He got sophomore slump.
No, that's somebody on the same. You ain't.
Oh no, bro. What the second year? Okay, regardless of how your second year went down, your second year typically goes down as an NFL quarterback. Whether you're injured,
nobody,
or whether you play on the field, or teams understand how to stop you.
I'm just asking.
Oh my God!
No quarterback on their sophomore year didn't have a good sophomore year.
I didn't say that. Nobody. There's always exceptions to the rules. It's like I can say the majority of running backs hit their peak by year number 4. Right. And after that, they go downhill. That's not to say that Adrian Peterson was an exception to the rule. That's not to say that Saquon was an exception, although I don't know that if Saquon was still with the Giants, that he could have had that kind of season.
No, he wouldn't have that.
Okay, so, but typically you can honestly look at it and say Zeke Elliott went downhill every year he was in the NFL, and after year 4 he was really gone
because he didn't work. I don't believe he took the game seriously anymore. I really believe that.
That's old history. Let's not visit that.
Regardless of the reason. Typically, that's why you don't pay running backs is because usually they're ragged out by year 4. After that year, they're typically going to go downhill. That's not to say that there's not exceptions to every rule. There are. But you go through and you play the numbers. The majority of quarterbacks, and I could say Jordan Love stepped back last year. I could say C.J. Stroud stepped back last year.
That never stepped back?
Who? Dak did. Yeah, his second year was not as good. Also, he had problems with Zeke Elliott because Zeke was suspended for 6 games. But yes, Dak did step back and had the sophomore slump.
Answer this. Isn't that the year when he had that step back that Jones, JJ, said, hey, he made a call to Romo and said, I want you to come back?
I never actually heard that one, but I mean, that's a rumor that people said. I've never seen any evidence of that one. But regardless.
Who cares?
But part of the problem of that step back was Zeke Elliott was dealing every week on whether or not he was going to be suspended. And eventually was suspended for 6 games.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So that had an effect.
Did they cut the suspension back to 4 games?
No, it was 6 games. He was suspended for 6. That derailed our season.
The only person to ever be suspended.
Yeah. It ended up being a 9-7 season, and we missed the playoffs. You have to think if he had been there for those 6 games, we would have won one more game and been in the playoffs.
Something controversial, but I believe this.
Oh my God!
Wow, really? You're going to say something controversial?
Well, that was you should have said that.
I believe we all know that Al Davis.
Daniel Hernandez. What's going on?
Al Davis was the Raiders, and he did a lot of things the NFL didn't like. I believe Jerry Jones and Al Davis are one-on-one because Jerry Jones loves Al Davis. You should love Al Davis, and I believe that sometimes the league would punish Jerry just as much as they punish Al Davis. Because
without a doubt,
I could tell you, I'm just gonna tell you my personal opinion. I'm a football fan first, then I'm a Washington fan. That play Des Bryant made was an NFL saying no, it's not a touchdown. That's NFL put that rule down.
That's you know what that also is? Okay, and you recognize that? That was also the NFL saying, Shador, you're not getting drafted in the first 4 rounds too. That's same.
That's true.
And you can also say the Cowboys get no quarter when it comes to penalties. They are always one of the most penalized. And as much as you talk, as much smack as you talk about my edge rusher, you know that it should be 2 or 3 holding calls every game that would be game changers for that guy.
Yes,
You've seen him literally have people around the neck on him, and he still gets a sack.
All right, Mark, I believe that the league does this.
I know they do this. Because here's where it goes back to. No, I'm going to tell you exactly the moment that happened. And it was because of Zeke Elliott. Because Jerry Jones got up there and stuff because the NFL said, listen, Zeke's getting fined, and Cowboys, you're paying the $4 million of legal fees. And Jerry Jones got up there, no, we got the best attorneys in the sports business. We're not paying that thing. And he carried his happy ass to New York. And within about 2 hours, he came out and said, we're paying the fines. And I can guarantee you, because what also led up to that was he was basically saying, we need to reevaluate upping up Roger Goodell.
Yeah,
okay.
You're right.
He was like, nah, we need to think about this. And he was trying to put in his own patsy. And what I think happened was Roger Goodell got 3/4 of the NFL owners to sign right here and say, Jerry Jones, you ain't getting away with that shit. Yeah, you keep on, we're taking your franchise, and you're going to get...
Remember when Jerry Jones, after, I think the first or second year, or maybe the third year, when he changed drinks, I think...
to Pepsi, and he had his own marketing. He had the Nike swoop on the stadium.
He was supposed to use the NFL's.
Yeah.
Was it Coca-Cola or was it Pepsi?
I can't remember, but he was like, why am I making money for all these other teams when I can make my own deals?
Yes. Yeah.
And it ended up being that he was right to make them more money. But there is a bias that Roger Goodell basically said, take your happy ass back to Dallas, shut the F up, and give me my money.
I agree with that, Mark. I agree.
And they've never forgotten.
Al Davis was Tom Brady, that 30 for 30 they did, talking about he didn't fumble. You fumbled the ball, my guy. That was a fumble. They were trying. The reason that it took so long, they was trying to find a dumbass rule they can put out there, a tuck rule that nobody ever heard of.
Yep. And here's the other thing too. If you are one of those, conspiracy theorists and think that this is rigged, they got it right, because you have to have the villain, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys drive everything in the NFL. Okay, to have somebody that nobody's ever heard of in Cleveland just go through and say, you're hearing it here first that they're going to be that they're working on a trade for Dak Prescott to the Cleveland Browns, and there's no way in the world that it could actually happen because of what they owe Deshaun Watson and Dak Prescott's dead money hit and the no trade clause. That becomes national news.
But here's my thing about that, Mark.
The embarrassing part is the no trade clause. Like that's all you have to say. You ain't have to say. You didn't have to say anything else other than the no trade clause, and that should have shut that conversation down.
But here's the problem in the NFL: if they give these players like they do the NBA these contracts, because NFL, we all know what that means. Not for long, because I could get a 4-year deal, and on 1 year they could cut me. They could cut me the first year.
Yeah,
and
pay me my guarantee
luxury like NBA players or baseball players or even hockey players, even soccer players. They have the ability to cut you from day one.
Yeah,
if they don't like your personality, you could be gone.
Yep.
Mark, I was talking to I was on Angry Angry Cowboy.
We know
podcast, right?
we know you're a trader. We know you're a trader.
I don't understand what that means, but anywho, we were talking about he. You know what I'm saying? He and I were talking, and I was telling him that that right there, the whole no trade clause thing is where it was the separation between. It was the textbook separation between a Dallas Cowboy fan and a Cowboys fan. You know what I'm saying? A Dallas Cowboy fan is well aware of the fact that there's a no trade clause. Mm-hmm. They understand what's going on with the cap. They understand what's happening with ownership. They have an opinion about all that stuff. Mm-hmm. They're fully invested. Cowboy fans are majority people who are just in it for who are casual
that don't know shit.
Understand? Yeah, they don't understand.
That listen to ESPN and believe everything they say.
And those are the ones who and 9 times out of 10. Those be the ones that fuck it up for the Dallas Cowboy fans, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's the thing. And this is what I was telling angry Cowboy fan. I was telling him, I was like, for us Eagles fans, we, for the most part, actually agree with a lot of what Dallas Cowboy fans feel about the way things are going with their organization, like what they think I agree with you when you talk about the things that need to change and everything like that. I do not disagree with you one bit. It becomes funny because it becomes funny to us when I have to watch a Dallas Cowboy fan like Mark Holmes argue with a Cowboy fan. Yeah. It's the most oxymoronic thing ever as an Eagles fan. Like when I have to listen to y'all, like because like
dumbasses.
The worst part about it is that the fix to a lot of the argument is if Cowboy fans actually looked at Dak's contract. You know what I'm saying?
But see, you know what though? Look, here's the other problem that happens. And, if you hear something enough times, you begin to believe it. Okay? And so here's exactly what happened, like for the draft, for example. How many times did you hear mock drafts have Tet and Golden? That it was always, for the last 2 weeks, every single day you heard Matthew Golden interviews. They're asking him questions about the Cowboys. You now have been hearing this so much that's the only thing that you are now expecting is to get Matthew Golden or Tet, right? And then when it doesn't happen, everybody's like, oh, man, the Cowboys, they don't know shit. They don't know shit. He was on the board and they didn't take him. And it's like, I didn't really see Matthew Golden as a true game changer. That's a guy that might end up being one of the 40% that ends up being like Jonathan Mingo. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But Cowboy fans are now pissed off because they've heard so many times that he's been mocked to the Cowboys. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, because what they did was they and that's the casualness of it. Oh,
yeah.
Look, Mark, I have an 18-year-old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Graduating from high school.
Congratulations.
Just got a full ride to college, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the problems that we still have with him is he still has to be reminded to not do a half-ass job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Stop half-ass.
And to take out the trash.
Yes, doing your due diligence. And that's where and I liken Cowboy fans to that, dealing with that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not doing like I remember watching you and it being funny to me. Although, albeit you were 1,000,000% correct, it's still funny to me watching you scream back at Cowboy fans that either doesn't have a no trade clause or who else is out there. What you get rid of them? What do we do?
Ask the Steelers about a quarterback.
So watching you have to keep going back and forth with Cowboy fans. As an Eagles fan, it's hilarious.
I guess it is.
Because I agree with you, but it's like okay, you can't say you don't see this happening with Philly fans. Our issues is something else, but it ain't this. I mean, goddamn.
All right. It is after 7:00, and I'm tired, boss. And I've listened to Momo and Leo to the point where I got a headache now.
Yes.
And I was feeling good about my draft and everything, the things the Cowboys were doing. But if I listen to Momo and Leo, we're going to be like the scum at the bottom of the barrel, that there's no hope whatsoever, and that we just are just hopeless. Did I get it right?
Perfect.
I tell you what, Momo, when your team does the New York Giants next year and they're ass, I hope you come in. I really hope you come in with your we win in the division and your visions of grandeur.
Me all day.
Huh?
Like they ass. They won't be ass.
Okay.
They'll be winners.
Like I said, ice, baby.
Is next year? Is this your year? Is this your year?
Oh.
I would say we'll come close. I'm not saying we go to the championship. I'm never going to say that because anything
you
can happen.
said, oh no, you didn't say they're going to be better than.
He said they're going to win the division.
We're going to win the division.
You all right? Oh, okay. So
and Eagles going to come in third place. I said that. I ain't never. That's never going to change.
Look, he got some Girl Scout cookies there. He's about to throw down on.
Yeah. Wait. You're going to the Commanders are going to win the division.
Cowboys are going to come in second.
Third.
Yeah.
And
Dallas going to be in second place, and Giants going to be where they always at, the bottom of the barrel.
Good for the command nothings.
You want to put a bet
Commanders.
I'll take that bet.
How much? You got
left hand up. Who are we? The Commanders.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, make it 10,000. We got a deal.
Done. Done.
All right. With that being said,
Mark, you gonna hold the money?
Yeah, I hope. How much is it holding?
20K, Mark.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. All right.
No. It's 10 racks.
Huh?
Right? 10 racks, right?
10 grand?
10 apiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hold that for you. Yeah, no problem, man. I'm good for it.
No, Mark, you good to hold it? Yeah. Mark,
I'm good to hold it, yeah. I might start building a house with it, but
you good with that?
I think he called your bluff, Momo.
Momo, you good with that?
Bobby B, tell Momo 55 on your head again.
I know, right?
Hey, Bobby done put in 55 super chats.
Yeah, Momo, you good with that?
Oh, Lord.
Look at here, Mom. Look at here, man.
Look at here, man.
I'm trying to get. I would do it if I was.
Listen, it's
my
a
wife
yes
ain't
or no.
on. My wife ain't
on.
Are you good with letting Mark hold the 10
I'm good with any kind of money.
All right, so
I'm good as long as Mama says yes.
Okay, so we good. We good with the bet then.
Right? No, he's saying he's good with it, but his wife's not.
See, this is why. This is my problem with these Commander fans.
Commanders.
What the hell you talking about, bro?
It's difficult to take them seriously. You know what I'm saying? Like it's difficult to take you serious. Okay,
Leo, y'all gonna have a bad season this year. So I was just facing.
I understand that, but again, I'm not on that. I'm not there yet.
May 14th, the schedule come out.
I'm good.
May 14th, the schedule come out, Leo.
I'm good. You ain't ever got to worry about that no more. I was ready.
Okay.
I was ready too, but I had to come to my common sense to say, hey, that ain't gonna happen.
He called your bluff. Momo said, make it 10K. We got a deal.
Yeah. I would do it. I would do 20. I would do 50.
He said, for real?
Oh, shit. You saw how fast I jumped on it?
No, make it right.
Mark, hold the money.
It's that
I'm already. Hey, Mark,
my brain.
Mark, listen, Mark. I would have carved out an administrative fee for you. I would have had you in there for your troubles, but I was Derek. Come on. That was an
administrative fee. I know.
Shit, I was like, okay, I got 6 months that I can invest that.
Yeah, hey, listen, I'm sitting here like, look, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because come on, Derek, that's an easy 10K. The Commanders are going to win the division, and the Eagles are going to come in third. come on.
Yeah, son.
Bobby B.
You gotta split it up.
Left hand up, Momo. Horses again. 55 on your head.
He called him, Derek. I didn't say it. He did. Everything about that. Everything about that. He came up with. He came up with those.
Then I came to my senses.
He even came up with the 10K.
I gotta get okay with that.
Okay. I got to get up out of here, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
thanks, Mark. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. Leo.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
see you again.
Yeah, yes, you will. Yes, you will.
All right, good people.
Will.
I got me a headache here, man. They done wore me out now. We're gonna turn out the lights, man. This party's over.
All right, stay blessed, man.
The party's over.
Oh man.
You too, Leo. See you later, Mike.
Hold on.
Call it a night.
Y'all have a good one.
And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.